God's urgent message. Don't miss what heaven wrote just for you. My child. Pause for a moment. Breathe. You didn't find this message by accident. You were drawn here by my Spirit. Not by algorithms or coincidence. I have something sacred to speak into your heart. And I need you to listen not with your ears alone, but with your spirit. This is a divine moment. A heavenly interruption. For you are standing closer than you think to losing something that carries your future, something I carefully prepared and placed in your path. I'm not speaking of small matters or earthly possessions. I'm speaking of divine instructions, written long before you ever took your first breath. These are documents of purpose, wrapped in moments you almost missed. These are holy assignments, disguised as decisions, emails, phone calls, meetings, things you've been delaying, overlooking, or forgetting. But they are not ordinary. They are laced with my favor, sealed with my promise, and timed perfectly with my calendar for your life. Yes, my child. You are dangerously near the point of letting go of what I wrote for you. Not because you're careless, but because the enemy has been subtle. He has clouded your focus, pulled at your emotions, and made you weary in spirit. He wants you to think it's just another day, just another thought, just another task. But it is not. It is a divine key. A door to your next season. A bridge to the fulfillment of what you have prayed for in the midnight hour. You've been sensing it, that stirring, that restless ache in your soul. That's not just emotion. That is my Spirit nudging you, warning you, waking you up before something vital slips through your hands. The enemy is not after your routine, my child. He is after your scroll. He's targeting what I placed in your hands, hoping you'll delay just long enough to miss what was meant for you. But I, the Lord thy God, am not silent in moments of danger. This is your rescue, spoken with love. I come not with condemnation, but with compassion. For I am the shepherd who leaves the 99 to find the one. I see where you've been distracted. I know where your energy has faded. But I also know what I've written for you, and I will not let you lose it without first sending a clear voice from heaven. Psalm 139:16, KJV 1925, says, Thine eyes did see my substance, yet being imperfect, and in thy book all my members were written, which in continuance were fashioned, when as yet there was none of them. Before you ever knew your name, I wrote your path. I documented your calling. I recorded your appointments with destiny. But, my child, these documents must be claimed. They must be acted upon. And time is not standing still. So I ask you, gently but firmly, return to what I said. Go back to the last instruction I gave you. Do not wait for another sign. This is the sign. This is the moment. Say it out loud. Lord, don't let me miss what you wrote for me. Speak it with faith. And let your declaration awaken the angels on your behalf. If this message is stirring your heart, it's because I am calling you back into alignment with heaven's purpose for you. Stay close to this space. Let my voice guide you again. I am not done speaking. Subscribe to this channel so you may continue hearing my words in season. Share this message with someone who might be drifting. Be the light that reminds them of my love. You are not too late, my child. But you must not delay any longer. What I wrote for you still stands. But it is your obedience, not your feelings, that will unlock what comes next. Come now. Let us walk this path together. I am with you. I always have been. And I always will be. My beloved child, listen closely. What I'm about to say is not to shame you, but to awaken you. You've been feeling it, the cloudiness, the forgetfulness, the strange sense that you're missing something important. That's not your imagination. That's not just tiredness. That is the evidence of a spiritual attack meant to disconnect you from what I have placed in your life. You've overlooked things lately. You've pushed aside tasks I once stirred your heart to begin. You've delayed following through on that one instruction I whispered into your spirit, the one you promised you'd finish tomorrow. But, my child, tomorrow has come and gone. And while you were distracted, the enemy was at work, rearranging your focus, cluttering your thoughts, and quietly pulling you away from the documents I assigned to your life. He did not come loudly. He came subtly, not to destroy you with force, but to drain you with distraction. He used busy days, long nights, emotional storms, and fear. And now you find yourself tired, confused, spiritually numb, wondering why the breakthrough you prayed for hasn't arrived. But child, it's not because I didn't send it. It's because what I sent was wrapped in instructions you've been too weary to complete. This is not to condemn you. I am not a harsh judge. I am your Father. The same one who formed you in secret is now calling you back in love. Because I see what you do not, that the opportunity in front of you is time sensitive. That the window is still open, but not for long. You've asked me for clarity. You've begged me to speak again. But my child, I never stopped speaking. I was speaking when you felt the urge to respond to that email. I was speaking when that person crossed your mind. I was speaking when you dreamed about unfinished tasks and missed connections. Every nudge, every whisper, every restlessness you felt, that was me. Gently calling you back to what I wrote for you. But I cannot force your hand. I will not make you move. Love never manipulates. It invites. And today, I am inviting you to rise up and take hold of what the enemy is trying to make you lose. He wants you to think you've failed already. He wants you to live in guilt, to believe that delay has disqualified you. But that is a lie. I still hold your future in my hands. And I can restore what you nearly let slip away. John 10:10, KJV 1925, reminds you, the thief cometh not, but for to steal, and to kill, and to destroy. I am come that they might have life, and that they might have it more abundantly. I did not create you for confusion. I did not lead you to the edge of your promise just to let you fall. I brought you here to wake you up. Because you are still on time, but only if you move now. Do not treat this moment casually. My spirit is near. Heaven is watching. The documents I gave you are still waiting to be claimed. Return to my voice. Reignite your focus. Let me help you clear away the noise. Subscribe to this message. Not just with your click, but with your heart. Stay close. because I am not done revealing what comes next. And what I show you may be the turning point you've been waiting for. Now is not the time to drift. It is the time to respond. Come, my child. Let me restore what distraction tried to destroy. Let me finish what I started in you. Let me bring back what you thought was gone forever. I love you too much to stay silent. So hear me clearly, the enemy has tried to scatter you. But I, the Lord thy God, am gathering you again, back to your purpose. Back to your promise. Back to my plan. My child, now that your eyes are opening, I must reveal something deeper. What you almost lost wasn't hidden behind a locked door or stored in a vault far away. No. It was right in front of you, disguised in ordinary things. That email you ignored. That meeting you postponed. That small opportunity you thought didn't matter. That gentle nudge in your spirit you dismissed as nothing. All of it. Sacred. You've been waiting for something big. Something obvious. Something loud. But I rarely move in noise. My beloved. I move in purpose. And my purpose is often dressed in simplicity. What I gave you didn't come wrapped in thunder. It came as an idea you hesitated to start. A phone call you were supposed to return. A form you needed to sign. A connection you were meant to pursue. And though it looked small, it carried weight in the spirit. These were not random events. They were divine documents, assignments placed delicately into your path to move you forward. When I said I wrote your story, I meant every detail, every season, every door, every name, every encounter. These are not coincidences. They are confirmations. Not interruptions, but instructions. Psalm 37:23, KJV 19:25, says, "The steps of a good man are ordered by the Lord, and he delighteth in his way." Your steps, my child, are not meaningless. They are directed by my hand. But when you overlook the small steps, you risk missing the staircase I built to your destiny. You've wondered why certain things didn't work out. You've questioned why progress felt delayed. But the truth is, some of the movement you prayed for was waiting on the moment you followed through with the smallest task. Because hidden inside that one message, that one form, that one conversation, was the next chapter I wrote for you. Some of these divine documents were people. I sent someone to your life to help carry your calling, to speak life over your vision, to walk with you into the next season. But fear made you hesitate. Doubt made you withdraw. You told yourself, maybe later. And the moment passed. But child, I am not here to remind you of missed chances. I am here to open your eyes to what is still within reach. If only you move quickly and honor what I gave. These instructions do not always appear supernatural, but their impact is eternal. They are simple acts that unlock sacred doors. A message sent in faith. A job applied for in obedience. A yes spoken when you were afraid. These are your documents. These are your divine keys. And I sent them not to burden you, but to bless you. That's why I urge you, my beloved. Don't treat anything I give you as common. Don't delay what heaven has timed precisely. When you ignore what looks small, you delay what is monumental. I'm not asking for perfection. I'm asking for attention. I'm asking you to treat my word with weight, to see with spiritual eyes, to value every prompting, every confirmation, every divine reminder I send. And yes, some of these documents are returning now. I am bringing them back into your view, because you still have time. But only if you recognize them. Only if you act without delay. Speak life over what I gave you. Say it aloud. Lord, I will not overlook what you've assigned to me. Speak it again. Declare it in faith. For your voice moves angels. Your faith activates my hand. If you're still listening, if your heart is stirring, then stay with this message. Subscribe not just to a channel, but to my direction. Stay connected, because what comes next requires a deeper awareness of how I move. And child, I will continue to reveal the hidden treasures I wrapped in the ordinary, so that you may walk boldly into the extraordinary. My precious child, now that you understand the sacred nature of what I sent, I must tell you the truth about why it's been so hard to follow through. Why your mind has been foggy. Why your motivation has faded. Why the simplest task feels like a mountain you can't climb. It's not because you're weak. It's not because you've failed. It's because the enemy has recognized what you carry, and he has been targeting it with precision. This has never been about small distractions. This has always been about sabotage. He knows what's written in your scroll. He's seen glimpses of what I've planned for your life. And because he cannot destroy what I've written, he aims to disconnect you from it. Not with noise, but with numbness. Not with storms, but with subtle shifts in your attention, your confidence, your peace. You've felt it, haven't you? You sit down to complete something important and suddenly your mind goes blank. You feel inspired one minute, then discouraged the next. You keep telling yourself you'll do it tomorrow, and then tomorrow turns into next week. You've missed calls, skipped messages, delayed decisions, and guilt has crept in, whispering that you're too far behind. But child, hear me clearly, you are not too far gone. This is not a coincidence. This is a spiritual assault. But I, the Lord thy God, am lifting the veil so you can see what's truly been happening. Ephesians 6:12, KJV 1925, says, For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world. This battle has been spiritual, and now you must fight not with fear, but with faith. The enemy has used busyness to bury your spirit. He has used tiredness to make you forget what I said. He has brought confusion to cloud your clarity. But today, I am giving you your weapons back. Your voice, your obedience, your alignment. When you declare my word, the atmosphere begins to shift. When you act on my instruction, you break the grip of delay. When you return to the last thing I told you, you shut the door on distraction. Child, this has never been about a piece of paper or a form you didn't fill. This has been about your destiny. The documents I spoke of are not stored in some cabinet, they live in your spirit. They are keys to doors you were meant to walk through. And the enemy has been trying to keep those doors locked, not with chains, but with forgetfulness and fear. But I say to you today, no weapon formed against you shall prosper, Isaiah 54:17. KJV 1925. I am exposing the thief. I am revealing the plot. And I am calling you to rise, not in your own strength, but in mine. Because you are not alone in this fight. My angels are with you. My spirit goes before you. And what was delayed is not denied. You still have time. But not forever. And now is the moment to fight back. Speak this aloud, Lord. I break every distraction sent to separate me from your instruction. I reclaim what was mine. I realign with what you wrote. Say it with authority. Say it with boldness. Because your voice in the spirit realm is louder than every whisper of doubt. And stay close, my child. Stay connected to this message. Let these words soak into your soul. Subscribe to this space where my voice speaks clearly. For in the days ahead, I will uncover more. I will train your ears to hear me again. And I will give you wisdom to guard what I gave, so that no enemy, no delay, no fear will keep you from what I sealed with my name. The battle is real, but the victory is already written. And it is yours. My beloved child. Now that the veil has been lifted and you see how the enemy has worked against you, I must speak to your heart with urgency and love. You still have time. Yes. Time to recover. Time to reclaim. Time to rebuild. But not time to delay. Not time to hesitate. Not time to sit in guilt or wonder if you're worthy. Because I, the Lord thy God, am the author of redemption, and I specialize in divine recovery. You may feel like too much has passed. Like the door has closed and the page has turned. But I tell you now, I am the God who reprints what was lost. I hold the master copy. I remember every word I wrote about you. And I am willing to send it again. Not because you earned it, but because I love you. You've asked, Lord, is it too late? And my answer is found in Joel 2:25, KJV 1925. And I will restore to you the years that the locust hath eaten. I don't just restore time. I redeem it. I don't just bring things back. I bring them back better, stronger, sharper, with more clarity and more grace than before. But here is what you must understand: the restoration I'm preparing requires your response. This time, you cannot wait for another sign. This message is the sign. This is your moment to move quickly, with urgency, with expectation. Because what I'm about to release won't wait forever. I'm calling you to take the first step now. Not tomorrow. Not when it feels more convenient. Now. That form you've been delaying, finish it. That message you meant to send, send it. That act of obedience you've been postponing, act on it. Because these are not small gestures. They are keys. And the door they unlock leads directly into the next season I've prepared for you. Say this with faith, Lord. I will not miss what you wrote for me. I am ready. I am willing. I am moving. Speak it aloud. Even now. For when your voice aligns with my will, the atmosphere begins to shift. Heaven responds. Angels are released. Delays are broken. Don't look at what you lost. Look at what I'm restoring. Don't mourn over the missed moment. Rejoice over the mercy I'm giving you now. I am not the God who punishes the repentant. I am the Father who runs to meet his returning child. just like the prodigal. You are not being scolded, you are being embraced. But hear me, beloved, this is your second chance, do not treat it lightly. I am reprinting your documents. I am rewriting what the enemy tried to erase. But you must be ready to receive it. And when I send it this time, don't delay. Don't second guess. Don't hide behind fear. Stay with this message. Let it stir your soul. Subscribe and stay connected to my word through this channel of hope. Not for algorithm's sake, but for your spirit's sake. Because what's coming next will require your heart to be attentive and your steps to be swift. I am not only restoring what was delayed, I am accelerating what was slowed. Where there was once silence, I will speak again. Where there was confusion, I will bring clarity. And where there was loss, I will bring increase. But child, you must act now. For what I wrote still stands. What I sealed is still valid. And what I promised, I will fulfill. Not someday. Today. The next move is yours. Take it boldly, and you will see what I've had waiting for you all along. My dear child, now that your heart is awakening, now that your spirit is stirred and your feet are moving, I want to open your eyes even more. You may not realize it, but you have been surrounded by signs. Heaven has not been silent. I have been sending whispers, nudges, dreams, and divine reminders, not to pressure you, but to prepare you. You see, before I release something from heaven, I always announce it. Not always with trumpets, not always with thunder, but often with something much softer, a thought you can't shake, a dream you keep having, a scripture that follows you all week, a conversation that seems oddly timed but deeply meaningful. That's me, my child. That's how I speak when I'm drawing you near to something sacred. You've had sudden urges to finish things you set aside. You've felt a strange urgency to return to a task you left undone. That's not coincidence. That's my spirit alerting yours. You've been dreaming of pages, of documents, of moments you thought were long forgotten. Those weren't just dreams. They were divine messages. I've been calling you back to the very instructions the enemy tried to bury, even in conversations with others. I've been speaking. Someone randomly brought up an idea you once had. Someone mentioned an opportunity you passed over. And it felt like déjà vu. But it wasn't. It was me. Using others to remind you of what you were created to pursue. And still, I've spoken to your heart in silence, moments where you felt restless for no reason. Unsettled even though life looked fine on the outside. That is my signal. That is the sound of your spirit being summoned back into alignment with my will. Hebrews 2:1, KJV 1925, says, "Therefore we ought to give the more earnest heed to the things which we have heard, lest at any time we should let them slip." You've heard my voice before. You've seen my signs. But now I am telling you to pay closer attention. Because if you treat divine signals like background noise, you risk drifting from what I sent to bless you, child. I know you're tired. I know it hasn't been easy. But I never send you into a season without preparation. I never call you without confirming it first. And I have been confirming again and again. This very message is one of those confirmations. This moment right now is my way of pulling you back before you miss what's still within reach. So I ask you, what has been pressing on your heart? What idea keeps coming back even when you try to forget it? What simple task do you keep delaying, even though you know it matters more than it seems? That may be your document. That may be your assignment. That may be the very door I wrote for your breakthrough. You are not far away from it. In fact, you are closer than you think. The enemy has tried to distract you, but I have been persistent in bringing it back to your spirit. Because I love you. Because I do not want you to miss what I have prepared. Say it aloud now, Lord. Help me recognize your signs. Open my eyes to what you're showing me. Speak it with faith. Let your heart agree. Because when you recognize my signs, you begin to walk in my rhythm. And when you walk in my rhythm, you cannot miss my blessing. Stay close to my voice. Stay close to this message. Subscribe to the space where I speak, not just with videos, but with truth that breathes life into your bones. For what comes next will require sensitivity, humility, and full surrender. And know this, I never send signs without a reason. I never stir a heart without a purpose. And I never call a child without preparing a blessing. The signs are not fading. They are intensifying. Because the door is near. The moment is close. The scroll is ready. And I want you to walk boldly into all that I have written for you.